I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Off the Rails Podcast. I'm your host, Kenny, and I'm joined today by my good friend,
Tony, the guy in the chair that pushes all the buttons.
Yay!
Yay!
Chair guy.
We are out and about, so we are not with our usual studio crew. They will be missed.
I missed them already.
So also the reason why this is not a gaming edition. And why we're not playing an episode of Green Hell. Or an
Yes.
episode of Tony, why?
Something like that. Yep, we find ourselves snuggled nicely in a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Because our job has taken us out in a boot elsewhere. So we get to enjoy nice hotel Wi-Fi as we try to do our podcast.
I hope it's good. So far, the streaming health is good.
Awesome.
Excellent connection.
Sweet Caroline.
Bum, bum, bum. I
So-
hope that we sound good, because I don't know what we sound like.
So those of you that weren't around during our last podcast, we did Dungeons and Dimwits, but it was a free-for-all. And everyone just kind of ganged up on Taylor.
Yep, we did.
Like a bunch of bullies.
We did. We absolutely bullied her. But here's the reason, okay?
Oh, sure, there's a reason for
Well,
bullying.
there is a reason. There is a reason. Ready?
uh-huh.
Ready for the reason? All right. The reason is it's because she's a warlock who has the orb of annihilation, and yeah, we're not hanging around that.
Sure.
No, that's not happening. That's a whole lot of.
Yeah, she was totally the most threatening person there, absolutely.
She could have been, and therefore, we told her
I'm
no.
sure. So you guys picked on her, and then ultimately Ian won. A couple of things came in clutch for him.
Yeah, like the fact that I rolled crap on that last one. If any one of those 4 hits that I could get would have hit him, he would have been done. He would have been done. Let me say it again. He would have been done.
Okay. I'm currently right now trying to write out the characters sheets, updated character sheets for not Dungeons and Dimwits, but an entirely different game of Dungeons and Dragons that we've been playing on Friday nights. So the Paladin has a lot that I have to update on this character.
The Paladin? Yeah.
Because I'm not doing spells, which means things like the Cleric and the Druid were easy to update. But the Paladin's got a lot of class features that he just all of a sudden got.
There we go. You got that stuck in my head now. You, sir, are rude.
No, I'm a blessing. Let's see.
Oh, come on.
I'm trying to understand what I wrote down here. For some reason, it doesn't make any sense to me anymore. Once per day, you can channel to restore a proficiency to
Okay, so
Bonus action.
now that we got I had to do all the shares and whatnot. So some crazy news that happened this morning.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it already.
Fake news.
At 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, Baltimore Bridge went down.
That is terrible.
Yeah. Cargo ship from like Korea or something like that. Stacked 900 feet high. Just, moments away from the bridge. Lost power in the whole ship. And they were just set adrift on a collision course.
Sounds like it.
Couldn't stop.
Dang.
Took it out. The bridge is a mile and a half long, and it took out the whole bridge. Just one pier. Boom. All of it
That's
gone.
all you need to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bridges are a delicate thing. True enough. True enough. There, we finished the Paladin. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Now, there was a lot of loss of life, and that is a tragedy. And it sucks that this ship, as I understand it, lost power and just ran into one of the pillars holding up the bridge, and it all just collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
There's more people that lost their life than we are comfortable with, which really should be
Any.
any.
It really should be like any, yeah.
Really should be like no loss of life is the comfortable standard there. Oh, now I'm on Hamish, your character. Okay, he's got 5 HP.
Mm-mm. That's a fat negatory, sir.
That's a fat negatory.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got he's got no weapons, no armor, and his strength is an 8. Excuse me while I neuter your character.
No.
We had some pretty fun things that we did last Friday on that our second ever D&D group with all of our friends there.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, we play another game on Friday nights that's not aired or any part of the podcast because it's not members of the studio. There's additional people, so obviously we're not going to podcast that. But it's a lot of fun, is it not?
Mm.
It's straight banger.
Taylor's in the chat. She wants to know, have you done mine? Taylor, wrong D&D group.
I'm not updating those character sheets. We need to sit down together in order to do those character sheets.
Yeah, that's your work.
Hey, Mish! Yo!
David.
Hey, Mish!
David's in the chat. He says, nerds.
Yep. It's just how we say hi to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'm in his podcasts or his streams, it's nerd. It's just how I introduce myself to him.
When I go into
time.
his Twitch stream, I jump in with have no fear, I am here. Straight up take the All Might.
Did you increase your strength? You did increase your strength. So how's David doing? It's good to hear him in the chat.
He says that looks like a good podcast setup. It would be a really great podcast setup if it were not a stock photo.
100%.
Yeah.
Just Photoshop ourselves in there.
That's a stock. I did tell him that it's like, hey, eventually when we start making some money at this is kind of what I want to get going for Off the Rails.
6.
A good little round table like that with an extra microphone for guests. It says, can you put any more sass into that? I don't know what you're talking about, Taylor.
Nerd.
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 A nerd.
Oh yeah, your speed has gone up from 30 to 40.
Yeah, I'm not slow.
No. Isaiah is slow.
Uh huh.
For he is a dwarf.
So, like, comparable? Yes. But for a dwarf, is he slow? Is he fast? Is he average? This is a dwarf. He's just tiny. He's got tiny little legs. They move really
He's
quick.
average compared to dwarfs. How dwarfs operate and all that fun jazz. That's how he work. That's how he roll. And now he's slow compared to you.
I can sympathize.
You cannot. Are you a dwarf?
I can't answer that.
Sounds like you are.
Remember the Dwarvish Protection Program?
The Dwarvish Protection Program? What? Alright. Weapons. This nerd over here with a maul. You had the maul?
Yeah, I have them all.
Maul.
Get a giant screen,
Alright,
green
plus-
screen, and you can game at that table too.
5. Hand axe is also an 8. I wouldn't mind having a table like that for the podcast. Because it would definitely accommodate us a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Really be just because of the microphones, I guess. But also, it's nicer to be closer to people when you're talking to them. And
Yeah.
my D&D table does not make people feel close readily. 1d6 plus 5. Javelins, also a plus 5.
Excuse me.
Nerd.
You're a nerd.
Thank you. Okay, you now have access to 3 rages instead of 2.
Yes,
Look
I can.
at
I
you.
can rage 3 times now.
Per long rest.
Three the rage.
I think it's per long rest. Alright, you have
Uh-oh. I hear the wee-woos.
the weewoos. Not the weewoos, anything but the weewoos. Your spellcasting has gone up too for some reason.
My spell cast?
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I don't have spells.
I guess it's based off of your proficiency. Well, you have Ray of Frost.
That's
Because of
right,
your
I do.
lineage.
I do have Ray of Frost.
Like a Mora. No, I'm kidding. Alright, let's get into the heavier stuff. Okay.
You know what else?
Nope, I don't.
Forgot. Totally forgot what I was going to say.
And you now have access to your Ancestral Guardian features.
That means I can get backed up. I'd be like, come help me, fam. And then the spirits will come.
Spirits.
Yep, the spirits. They'll arise, and then they'll block the hits. And they'll run interference for me. Which is fitting because, like, family is, like, a really oriented thing for that character on Friday for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Ancestral Guardian just, like, it's great.
So, yeah, I believe you are now updated entirely too. The only character left to be updated is mine. Here. Yes,
And you got a ton of stuff, didn't you?
I did get a ton of stuff. You are now level. Oh, I forgot to change everyone's level. Oh, I'm not done yet. There's always something on the character sheet I overlook. Now I gotta go back through everyone's character.
We're all level 5 now, right?
Yeah. Which I actually intended to make Cecile, the druid, multi-class into a monk, but I forgot about that, and so when I asked her, you just want to stay as druid, she said yes, and after the fact, I was like, oh, I forgot we were going to make you into a monk, because monks are actually really good as multi-class options for clerics or druids, if you want to get a little bit melee in there, because they also do good with high wisdom.
Getting a lot of pictures all of a sudden.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
From who? From what? From why? And how dare?
Oh, it's my kid.
Oh, your kid's sending you a bunch of pictures?
No,
Your kid's not sending you a bunch of
Where?
pictures.
my wife sent me a picture of my kid.
5d10. I gotta change that a little bit more. Huh. Ha 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 ah. Kinda. I get it. I get what she's talking about. Look a little older.
Yep.
Hey, Mish, I don't think I changed your hit. I did change your hit die. Never mind. Rurik.
So, the other day,
The other day.
we went to go watch
The other day.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
The all of us, including my roommate.
And that didn't happen because turns out
They weren't showing on the day we showed up, man. Which was like a total bummer and all that. Because we were super hyped to watch Ghostbusters. And what did we do instead, Tony?
we went and watched Arthur the King.
Which was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's a movie about a dog and a guy who runs like Iron Man marathons.
Adventure Racing. It was pretty good. All things considered.
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, I took when we were talking afterwards, and I was like, it seemed to be like really slow. I took a second look at it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? It was pretty fast paced. It was like, here's a problem. Now that's not a problem. Here's another problem. Okay, that's
Immediately
no
not a problem.
It's no longer a problem.
Like, that movie was very fast paced.
Yeah.
We're just... Like, we got two things faster than I ever thought we were going to. Like, that movie, I was like... It was one of those things where, like, I wanted to, like, pull up the red bar on the bottom if it was a YouTube video and see, like, how far did we actually get here? Because we were getting farther than I thought very quickly. All right.
There was a lot of stuff that was like leading up to be drama, and then wound up just like not being a thing at all.
Yeah. 6.
But that scene on the zip line,
Was pretty...
that was intense.
To me, that was the first time it actually slowed down and was like, hey... This is a thing.
This is a problem.
I can't think of a scene prior to the zipline where we spent that much time on a problem. Like, we actually had to slow down and marinate on this for a little bit. Like, if I was part of the crew and we were shooting, that was probably the longest scene they shot if they did it in chronological order. Typically, movies don't shoot in chronological order, but if that movie was shot in chronological order, that's probably like where a lot of the time was spent.
Yeah.
Just because of how long they actually sat for that scene. Yep, checks out. So, yeah, spoilers for Arthur the King if you haven't seen it.
And if you plan on seeing it, which like,
Recommend it. I do.
Yeah, it is recommended. Although I don't think a lot of people are going to actually watch it.
Also, I shot the sheriff.
Well, now it's out for the YouTube to know. All right, what we're actually doing is we're on the run because Kenny decided to shoot law enforcement. Just kidding.
We should go.
Oh, crap.
Police. How did they... Nah. You think they'll know if we hide in the bathroom?
Get in the fridge.
I might be able to.
You're not fitting in that fridge.
We don't know that.
You're not fitting in that fridge.
I could surprise you.
Open it up. Look on the inside.
Why, did you put a bunch of things in there?
No, I didn't actually. It's empty right now.
Oh, I don't want to get up right now.
But even with it empty, look at the way it's designed. You ain't
I
fitting
don't
that
want to
fridge.
get up. Do you want to get up? Because I don't want to get up. Is it not as deep as it looks?
It is not. Been keeping up with Invincible? Actually, no.
No.
I have not.
No, I have not. I never actually started watching Invincible, but I know a little bit more than I ever thought I would, due to like social media and whatnot.
I'm trying to power through the Netflix adaptation of the Netflix live action adaptation of Avatar.
Like a nerd.
David says hide in the closet. The conversation would be hilarious.
Something like that.
Ching.
Cha-ching.
Ching.
So, what are some fun adventures we've done since we've been on our workcation?
Well, we went to OMSI.
Yeah, we went to OMSI.
Yeah, we went to
The
OMSI
Oregon Museum of Science.
Institute.
I don't know if it's institute is the last word, though.
I think it's.
But we did
Institute.
go to OMSI, yes.
Yeah, fell asleep in the Dome Theater.
Yeah, we went and watched a half-hour movie in the Astral Theater, or the Domed Theater, whatever it's called. And we both fell asleep staring at the ceiling. And I woke up because Tony started snoring. And so we had to be like, whoa. And then we played around with a bunch of the puzzles, looked at the exhibits and whatnot, and yeah.
Wasn't a lot there.
Wasn't, well, if you've gone there a bunch of times, it doesn't seem to really change. They have bigger exhibits up the escalator, but we didn't get passes for that area because we didn't go for general. We just went for general admittance. But I mean, it was cool. It was fun. We did it. We also went to Golden Corral. I went to Golden Corral for the first time. How about you? Was that your first time at Golden Corral?
Yeah, actually, and you
Golden
know
Corral
we did
is
a
bigger than I thought it was.
So for those of you listening,
I shot the sheriff.
you follow us on the TikTok there.
Yeah, you can see the whole TikTok of it.
Yeah, we
The whole TikTok.
we did the quest for the Golden Corral, and yeah, it did not disappoint.
It was delicious.
Yeah. We hated ourselves when we left there. And
It
then
was
all
rough.
of a sudden, Kenny immediately afterwards forgot that he hated himself and then went to the Vancouver Mall. What
You
did we
had
do
fun?
at the Vancouver Mall? I know we walked a bunch. I was miserable. I was miserable. I was walking. I was sweating. I was dying. Every like 50 feet, Kenny's like, "Are you okay, bro?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay."
We did.
Don't worry about
There was
this.
more offered at the Vancouver Mall than there was at the Lloyd Center. What
Lloyd
a
Center
ghost
Mall
town.
is almost a ghost town.
It is
yeah.
a ghost town. It is verifiably a ghost town.
We were walking up into the food court, right? And there's like, I want to say like 60% of the food court is gone. And we
Yes.
turn around and there happened to be this restaurant with a big old sign that says, "Where's the food?" I was like, what an aptly named store.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. There was nothing there. But we did find a neat little store in there that had some D&D stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lady who owned it was like, "I'm sorry, I don't have all my D&D stuff out. I just came back from like a convention." So she had more stuff in the back, minis and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
that she just didn't have out. Then went to Barnes & Noble, found more D&D stuff. I couldn't find any of the nature survival stuff that I like. And then we left because,
Yeah, I bought some D&D stuff.
yeah.
I bought a deck of equipment cards, which is pretty cool. I got, what books did I get? I definitely got something.
Mm-hmm.
I also got a deck of monster cards, which I know that our DM's going to appreciate because it just has all the statistics and characteristics of monsters and their picture on the card.
It'll make it go a lot easier for him.
I got 2 books. I got Adventures in Eberron because I didn't have it, and then I got another one that was one of the newest ones because it had the Chrono Mage and the Graviturgy Mage in it. I don't remember what that book is called though. Off the top of my head. If you know what it is, get in the comments. Let me know.
David said that there was a surprising amount of D&D stores in Poland when he was there.
What a nerd.
Yeah. and then we went to another game store called Red Castle, where this dude, for the first time ever, on his very first roll, rolled a D100 and hit a nat 100.
And I got a natural 100, yes.
Yeah, I was.
And the lady behind the counter
Yeah,
said that she's never seen that before.
yeah, she's never seen that before. Kenny's never done it before. I've never seen it before. Yep, nat 100, first roll.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got a picture of it. When I start getting our Twitter activated, I'm gonna start uploading those pictures.
It was pretty cool.
So
Yep.
yeah, and that
So,
was
we did a lot of fun things since we've been here. Tomorrow we're going to see about watching those movies.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we go to the drive-in, we can watch Men in Black at the same time. I
Men
don't know
in
how-
Black.
Yeah, because it's also featuring Men in Black. Did you see the sign? It changed to Men in Black.
Nope.
It's
didn't see
Frozen
that.
Empire. It's Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and now it's Men in Black.
Oh.
Which I like the other one better, where it showed the previous movie and then
Yeah,
Frozen
where
Empire.
it was Afterlife and then Frozen
Yeah.
Empire. That would have been nice.
But now it's Frozen Empire and then Men in Black. So we can watch the first one and then ditch out of Men in Black. The drive's not too hard though. It's literally just down the street.
Then we could just walk there.
We're gonna drive in movie theater. We're gonna walk there.
Yeah.
We're just gonna lay out some blankets we stole from the motel. Yeah, this is the life. Stand in the snack shack. This is a good movie. You having fun? Haven't sat down for 4 hours. Life is pain.
Life is pain.
To whom it may concern. Life is pain. Did any of my skills change? I don't think so. Nope, some of them did. Oh, I need to go back over other people's stuff too, because they have proficiencies that I did not alter. Every time I think I'm done, nope, that's something I missed. Gotta go back and change that too. Clickety clickety clack 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 clack. Never go back. So my athletics is now a 4.
All right, so moving back to live action adaptation of Avatar, I gotta say, I'm I'm of like I guess I'm against the greater community's opinion on this one. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I think they did a horrible job.
Oh, tell me how you really feel,
Yeah, for someone who was like, no, I worked with the show's creators on it a lot. I think that it. Well, David says they should do a spin-off called Men in White, but instead of aliens, they deal with the supernatural underground.
Why can't it be women in white? It'd be totally opposite.
So,
The Men in Black.
what he's talking about, Men in White, that is that's an actual like joke thing through different forms of media, where they deal with supernatural underground.
Fake news.
It's like if you mixed Men in Black with Ghostbusters, like if Ghostbusters had an actual budget.
Like Ghostbusters had an actual budget.
Yeah, that it's a constant thing. Like I think I remember, it was a joke on Danny Phantom, and I think Scooby Doo. But definitely on Danny Phantom.
Where are you? Need some help from you now.
He said, "Oh, that's actually a thing." That's what he put up there. Yeah,
That's why I would have said women in white. Deal with the supernatural. Sure.
but it wasn't. It was just like a joke. It wasn't
The
like
joke stands.
it wasn't like a serious.
The
thing.
joke stands.
So
Bev.
okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, this all needs to be changed because they're all charisma based now. It's 4 plus 3 is 7. Yes. Okay, I figured it out. Continue.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm trying to. Oh, yeah. No, I think that the new Avatar show. I think it sucks.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah. So far, I don't. They've done like. Out of, I want to say four of the main characters is essentially character assassination. I guess character assassination might be too harsh of a term, but they definitely did screw him up.
Well, if it's accurate, it's accurate.
It's not accurate.
If it's not accurate, it's not accurate.
Yeah. See, David says, "Oh, I haven't gotten that far. I haven't seen Aang and Boomy yet. I'm just completed episode 3. Don't like the way they handled Jet. I don't like the introduction to Jet. And on episode 3, they're in Omashu.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and apparently that's in this universe. That's where they meet the Mechanist and his son Teo, and also Jet, and where Iroh gets captured by the Earthbenders.
So how does that make you feel?
Angry.
Angry?
Yeah, super angry because like it's just dumb. I will say this as far as like so we already get an introduction to Azula.
Azula.
Yeah, Zuko's crazy little sister.
Mm-hmm.
We already get an introduction to Azula, and
Azula.
she plays a more of an active, devious role in it, but at least the actor has somewhat actually captured the character. Cold, calculated, wants the throne. Yeah, willing to do what it takes.
Willing to do what it takes?
I'm sorry, I was reading the thing. Yeah, willing to do what it takes. Now, the one for the one that's playing May, and I get that May is supposed to be someone who constantly sounds and acts like they're just bored and done with life all the time, but it's like there was at least some emotion in the voice actor who was doing it to be able to do that. This one literally just looks like she doesn't even want to be there. It's a different vibe though. Yeah. Instead of just being like bored with their life, it's like, what am I doing here, man?
You just don't like the way the actor is portraying May?
I don't like the way.
I hear that the person playing May doesn't really look like May.
Yes, there's also that, but I wasn't going to comment on that because when it comes right down to it, the only one that actually looks like their character is maybe Zuko and Aang.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the My Cabbages guy.
My cabbages!
Yeah, they actually got that original voice actor
To play the character?
Yeah, to play the character.
And he looks like his actual character.
Yeah,
huh?
and he does. He actually looks like him, which is cool.
Which is dope.
He says, you haven't seen Aang yet on episode 3. Are you watching the right show? Yes. Yeah, I watched Aang. I just didn't watch Aang versus Boomy. On episode 3, it ends with Katara pulling the water whip out. And then Iroh getting captured by the Earth Nation. And Aang also getting captured by the Earth Nation, which is like the dumbest way that they did that. So, yeah, him and Zuko are fighting in the courtyard, right? And then Zuko loses his crap over because Aang apparently stole his diary. I wish that was an exaggeration. It's not. So Aang stole his diary, and so he's like, "You stole it," and he goes, "Bah!" and then fire, and then he's like, "Oh crap! Now we're gonna get arrested." And then Iroh's like, "Hey, you got to leave before you get arrested. I'll hold him off." And then he's like, "Bah!" and then he gets arrested, and then Aang's like, "Whoo! Blow the fire out! Blow the fire out! Blow the fire out!" And then all of a sudden, he gets arrested.
Like
and
a
then they walk up. So he's got both his feet captured in stone, right? Because they did that little rock goes up around the foot thing. And then they walk up to him, and I no joke, 4 dudes walk up to him like this, and they all do this, whoo, right next to him.
You just flex.
Just whoo, and I just like that.
It'd be funny if they all did a different pose.
Yeah, it was just the dumbest thing I saw. I was like, I get what you're trying to do there, but like, that was a poor execution.
Apes together strong.
That's just a poor execution. The elaboration of the Fire Nation is cool. Also, I loved how they actually show bending being used to murder in the beginning of the show. Yeah, I did like that too. I like the fact that they're actually showing the
deadly part,
the veracity that could be
of bending.
Yeah, and the way that it and the way that it's actually they're incorporating an actual fighting moves as opposed to the M. Night Shyamalan abomination, where they do like 60 different moves to just slowly move a rock through the air. But I will say this: I don't like how they used the firebending to cremate someone from the get-go, from like just standing there, because that, in my opinion, shows that the Fire Nation was that powerful to start off with, and that kind of boost was only supposed to be for when the comet came about, Sozin's Comet. Let's see. The fight had some creative choreography. I might go rewatch it after this. I'm now imagining the earthbending guys doing a YMCA to capture Iroh.
That'd be kind of funny.
Oh yes. The greatness that is. This is awesome.
I like that.
Yes. So, yeah, no, I think after this I'm gonna turn on episode 4 and try to watch that.
Has it come out yet?
Well, the whole first season's out. It's Netflix. They do a binge watching. They're a binge watching culture, is what it is. It's hard to watch.
Oh
Yeah, you would think that I would my face would be glued to the TV with Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I love this show, but it's really hard to watch, really hard to get into. Yeah.
Sweet.
So
I say sweet, but really what I mean is that's rough, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. So your girlfriend, my girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
That's the best line. This is the best line, the best delivery of that line.
But the first thing that comes to my mind is like, not only does he not know what to say to that, but like, is he telling the truth? Like, nuh-uh. What?
I think at
rough,
this
buddy.
point, Zuko has seen so much at this point in the in that show, in the cartoon. He has seen so much that he's unfazed anymore by what he sees or what he's being told. And he could have told him literally anything, and he would have just been like, yes, that is clearly the thing that happens in this world. They could have told him about the time that he got kidnapped by a panda spirit and held hostage in the spirit realm of the forest. Yes.
That's hilarious.
There was... What I really liked about the cartoon was all the callbacks to earlier episodes too. The amount of continuity. There was like no retconning at all in that series. The amount of continuity in there was just, well, no, I shouldn't say no retcon. There were some. I can't think of any. That's how minute it was. But there was a time when Aang put himself into the spirit world, right? He had to go talk to someone about something in the spirit world, and he's riding on Roku's dragon.
Yeah.
But it shows the perspective of Team Avatar that's in the physical world, and they're watching him, and he's doing like this little squat thing. He goes, and then, and does the spirit world have a bathroom? And Sokka goes, in fact, they do not. Which is a neat little callback, because, like, how would Sokka know, right? Oh, well, it's because he was kidnapped and brought into the spirit world for over a day. And when he immediately came out of there, he ran past Aang saying, I gotta go to the bathroom. Because they, in fact, do not have bathrooms in the spirit world. Yeah, I think I am going to watch One Piece in Yo-Yo Hakusho when I'm done with the Avatar one, because I hear a lot of good things about those. I want Zuko's reaction to be a lot of... I want Zuko's reaction to a lot of events. Oh crap, I can't see the comments section. Get out of here. Shoo, go away. Like, imagine hearing about an undersand library guarded by an owl. Yes, I forgot about that. He who knows 10,000 things.
On a scale of something to nothing, this should never in a million years be a thing.
Yeah. Oh, interesting tidbit. In the following series, Legend of Korra.
Nope.
Yep.
Fake news.
In the Legend of Korra.
Fake news. So much news that it's fake.
Aang's granddaughter goes to the library of Wan Chi Ta.
Fake news.
And he's like, she's like, I could spend all my life down here. And the owl's like, somebody once said that, and they're still here. As they walked by the decayed corpse of the scholar.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was still sitting in that same spot. Legend of Korra is a crap show, but they had some good tidbits in it. That was another one I can't stand. Someone put out this thing on the Legend of Korra question mark. What's that? Sounds like a. It sounds as fake as a Green Lantern movie. I know, right? Who would ever make that? Someone put out on the Twitter. They put out a Twitter poll. Okay, or X. Twitter. Screw it. We're gonna call it Twitter. It is Team Aang versus Team Korra.
Mm-hmm.
The two Avatar teams. Is who's coming out on top? Now, before we get into it, Team Aang, Avatar Aang, right? That team, when they were kids, would have stomped Team Korra.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they screwed up because they put the parameters as adults. The adult version of Team Aang versus Team Korra. And Team Korra as they are. There is absolutely no way that Team Korra would ever win that. Toph alone could murder half of them. Interesting tidbit. The only two people of Team Avatar to actually kill anyone was Sokka and Toph.
To kill someone, huh?
Yep.
How did Sokka kill someone?
He blew up Combustion Man's head with a boomerang.
It's rough, dude.
When Combustion Man was fighting against them, he was bombing the air temple, and Zuko's like, "Stop! I don't want you to do this anymore," which looks totally fake. By the way, it's like, dude, this is totally staged. How can we trust you on that? He's like, "I don't want you to do this." Whatever. So, bad timing. Good heart, good plan, poor execution, buddy. He's just bombing all. Sokka grabs his boomerang, and then he's like, okay, there he is. And then he lines him up, and he chucks it, and it hits Combustion Man in the head. He's like, oh, ow. What the hey, bro? And then he goes to, like, he goes to blow him up, right? Shoot at the side, and he goes, two. And then huge explosion where Combustion Man was, and all you see is his metal arm fly.
Maybe he lived.
He did not live. It's canon.
Maybe he did.
It's canon.
He might have lived.
It's canon. He didn't live.
David, him with the facts.
Yes, I am talking about Sparky Boom Man. Aang would solo Korra's team. Yes. Yeah. Aang would solo. You know why? Okay. Let's forget about the Avatar state really quick. All right? And just knock that out of the way. All right? Aang, at his base form, just airbending.
Mm-hmm.
He was a master airbender at age 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He had already mastered airbending and can use it in a fight to the point where he fought against masters of other bending styles and toyed with them. So, easily, he could, without that... And then you want to go ahead and just throw in the other three elements that he also mastered. Korra actually never mastered all four elements in her series.
Something like that.
Yeah. Katara was close to murdering 2 people. This is true. Katara did almost murder some people. Katara could murder people the easiest. Because she's a bloodbender. She knows the bloodbending technique. All deaths are intentionally ambiguous. They even make a joke about it in the play. Yeah, right when Jet dies. And they're like, whatever happened to Jet? You know, it wasn't very clear. No, he died. Yep.
Did he though?
Yep, Jet died. That's canon. It was it was definitely hinted at when Jet took that rock to the chest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Go, I'll be fine." And as they're walking away, Toph's like, "He's lying," and she starts crying because she's a walking lie detector. So, yep, Jet died.
Was he the guy that was trying to murder that entire village?
Yes, Jet is the freedom fighter.
What a nerd.
Yep, he tried to murder that entire village, and then saw the error in his ways after he got his butt kicked, and then was like, "Okay, we're gonna do different stuff now to help out." And then he got brainwashed by what is his name? Long Fane. He got brainwashed by Long Fane, and then got triggered and attacked Aang. And then Aang's like, "Hey, I'm gonna untrigger you," and he did. And then he attacked Long Fane, and then Long Fane's like, "Nope," and then just downed him, one-shotted him. Which was the first time we ever saw Long Fane actually use earthbending. And it was to kill a child.
Oh, well, daggum. It's great. Skibbity pap 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 pap.
Another interesting little tidbit. You know the Dai Li?
No, I do not.
Dude, I've got tidbits for days when it comes to this. I love this show. So the Dai Li was actually created by Avatar Kyoshi. Yep.
Okay.
She made earthbending CIA.
CIA? Oh, dear.
Reach.
2:30.
Yep. You know, yes. I could days. Could talk about it for days. For the longest time, fanfics aren't canon. What was a fanfic?
I don't know. This is between you and David. If that's who is talking.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for his reply. What was a fanfic, David? Waiting on his answer. I hate this delay. The Dai Li being commissioned by Kyoshi was confirmed canon by the show's creators.
Do you know when?
Not right off the top of my head.
What is investiture?
The Dai Li was originally created by Avatar Kyoshi sometime between 270 and 82 BG to preserve the cultural heritage of Ba Sing Se in response to a peasant uprising against the against the government of the 46th Earth King.
Okay, I think I finally finished my character.
Google.
Well, Tony, you sound like a nerd, so that's what I have to say about that. How does that make you feel?
I will definitely be a nerd for Avatar.
Gay. No. How do you like that spray cheese on top of your cheese chips
I like my cheese.
with your pint of sugar?
That's good. All right, so I've heard
You sound like a nerd.
rumors in the in the comment section. It says, aren't they making a newer Avatar that takes place in the future? I'm curious how that goes, since gun bending will be OP. Yeah, I've heard rumors that they're making another one and it'll take that much place in the future. And
Did you say gun bending?
Mm-hmm.
What's gun bending?
You know, pew pew.
They have guns in Avatar?
So the new series that is being rumored to be made takes place further in the future than Korra, and there's firearms, and I don't know how that would work out.
I don't know either. I'm going to shoot you with my fireball from my hand. Bang! Well, I think my gun beats you.
Yeah,
I'm
Well-
going to use my whirlwind of air. Bang!
they were already coming. They were already starting to have that problem in the Legend of Korra because they had advances in certain technology, right? But it's like
Feels good to be an earthbender when there's guns around.
or a metal bender. I'm gonna shoot you. Blink. Everything falls apart.
I am a Magneto.
They were already coming across that as a issue in The Legend of Korra because certain technology had advanced, right? But they had to intentionally stay away from guns because they would have easily leveled the playing field.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So
It doesn't matter if I'm a bender or if I'm born with bending skills. I can still bend your guts. Bang!
yeah.
He's the deadliest man in the world. What is he? He's a sniper. Get wrecked, metal benders. What, are you going to see that coming? Sucks to suck, Toph. Bang!
Well, and here's the problem with
Seismic sense this.
she'd be able to hear it.
Oh, sure.
So, and then here's the issue with that is you could easily negate metal bending by using platinum.
Why, they can't bend platinum?
No, because there's no earth in platinum. The minerals and everything that metal benders bend is so minute in platinum that they can't bend it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that a thing in the show?
Mm-hmm.
They can't bend platinum?
So,
Who's going to make armor out of platinum, though?
huh?
I said, who's going to make armor out of platinum, though?
It's in the show.
That's dumb. Dude, is that made out of platinum? Isn't that a soft metal?
Like they made it. No, platinum's actually relatively hard. Aluminum is soft.
So is gold.
So they actually made a huge wall made out of platinum just to keep.
Where did they get all that?
I don't know. This is the
How'd
world.
that happen?
It's the world of Avatar, dude. Anyways, they made a
Just got
huge
platinum
wall
for
made
days.
out of platinum or a door just so the chief of police, which happens to be Toph's daughter, can't open it because she's a metal bender.
So just the door. She can get through anywhere else. She just can't get through the door.
Yeah, apparently. But like they don't go through the wall. They just
the
stop
door.
by the door. It's like you could literally just walk right through that.
So you made this giant door, but I can just make the wall fall down.
It's like, oh, there's a huge door. Well, that's not going to stop your roof.
Knock, knock. It's me, Santa.
They had to do, I'm catching up on David's comments here. They had to develop the spiritual stuff just so Korra could keep up with the world. They made a mistake trying to up the risk in Legend of Korra from a war, though. Yeah. I don't know. They said metal couldn't be bent before Toph. I'm sure they'd figure out how to bend platinum with enough practice. Well, so here's the thing with that one is that the show's creator said that there is a limit to the bending in all aspects, you know? So airbenders can't just suck the oxygen out of anything, right? They have to actually bend a current. Like they can take the air out of your lungs, right? But then they have to put a air shield around your head to keep you from breathing in. They can't just close it in on you. And the same thing with earthbending. Earthbending can't be used like bloodbending. You can't bend the calcium in bones because it's too minute. It's too small. You can't pull water out of air.
Sounds like they're a bunch of nerds.
So they put a they do put a limit on it, and they have to, because otherwise,
they're a bunch of nerds.
Why not just do it like that?
Because they're a bunch
You guys
of nerds.
want to talk about fan theory and things like that? Check this out.
I didn't know you had.
Did you hear about this one? So here's
I
the
clicked
theory
the wrong one.
that Sokka in Legend of Korra, Sokka's actually dead.
Sokka in the Legend of Korra is dead, huh?
Yeah, he is dead, and it is a theory that he is actually the father of one of Toph's daughters.
One of, huh?
Yeah, Toph has 2 daughters, and they're half sisters.
So she had multiple lovers, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Groovy, huh?
Yeah, and we know Lin's father. Lin is the oldest child. We know Lin's dad, but
Who is Lin's dad?
You know what? I don't know. Like it talks about Lin's father in The Legend of Korra, but I don't pay that close of attention to Legend of Korra because I don't like it. But they do mention Lin's father, and he was like a bender, like construction and things like that. And he died, and then but So-Yun, which is the youngest one, Toph refuses to talk about her dad, and she carries certain characteristics along with Sokka.
So she refuses to talk about Sokka?
Well,
Is what you're saying?
I'm saying that we don't know because every time that So-Yun asks about her dad, she's like, "We're not talking about that. Let it go." She won't say if he's a good guy or a bad guy, if he was a bender or not a bender, or anything like that. Now, in the first season of The Legend of Korra,
Mm-hmm.
there's a flashback to Avatar Aang as an adult, Toph, chief of police, all of them. They arrest this dude under suspicion of, he's basically a mob boss. That's what he was.
Mm.
And they're like, they take him in, and they're like, hey, he's the one who's doing this. And they're like, and Sokka is Sokka's a lawyer at this point, councilman and a lawyer.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, I think that this dude is a bloodbender. And they're like, how? That doesn't exist anymore. And he's like, well, there are advanced forms of bloodbending. We've already crossed paths with one when I was a kid. They taught themselves that. Combustion Man, Sparky Boom Man. He talked about him. And then all of a sudden, everyone just stops moving in the courtroom. Like they're paralyzed.
Like a bunch of nerds.
Yeah. And it's the guy that they arrested.
Hmm.
He was in fact a bloodbender, but he was the most advanced bloodbender because like he didn't even have to move his fingers or nothing. He just focused and then he'd cease all the blood in your body. Everyone just stops. And then when he gets up and he leaves, everyone falls over just blah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The only one that gets up is Aang. He gets his little blue magic avatar power, and then he stands up. He's like, well, I'm going to have to go chase after this guy now. Dips out, goes chase after the guy, fights the guy, takes his bending away with the magic MacGuffin bending that he has. And then that's it. We never see Sokka again. The theory is that Sokka died that day. That dude killed him. And that Toph was pregnant with Soyun, and she doesn't want to talk about it because she feels responsible that she couldn't save him.
She feels responsible that she couldn't save Sokka.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm not buying this theory. Just because it's the last time he's ever brought up.
Like ever. Literally ever.
Yeah, but...
You see everyone else. Katara shows up. Zuko shows up. Toph shows up. Everyone else shows up except for the characters that have been confirmed dead. Except for Sokka. Aang, dead. Iroh, dead. You know?
Correlation is not causation.
I don't know, man. How did the bloodbending work again? He did it to a crazy degree, but only when there isn't a full moon. No, so he honed his bloodbending ability to the point where he didn't need the full moon. And realistically, Katara did too in the first series. When she went with Zuko on their happy little adventure to go murder a guy, she was able to use bloodbending then too, without the full moon, because she was just more in tune with it.
What a nerd.
Is Iroh technically dead? No, Iroh's not technically dead. He is dead. In the comic books, he died. They had a funeral.
What a balla.
Yeah.
What a balla.
Yep. He got old. He passed away.
He was already old.
Yeah. He got older and he passed away. But
also,
yeah,
what a balla.
but Sokka was the only one of the. You even see Toph. Toph is still alive. You see everyone except for Sokka. And it's not like Sokka's voice actor wouldn't want to be there, because he outright said he would. They just never brought him in.
Nope, they never brought him in. Ugh. Yeah.
So, I'm sticking to that theory.
No, I
Sokka
don't
died.
buy it.
Sokka died, and Soyun's dead. Dad. Dead dad.
Dead dad. That's rough, buddy.
He's alive in my heart and in the live action. That's what David said.
Yeah.
Well done.
Hoopla. And whatnot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe Sokka built a spaceship and is living on his girlfriend. Okay.
Getting freaky with the moon, huh? It's Sokka's own personal version of blood bending.
And you know who else you know and see about? Gross. I just got onto what you said. You also don't hear about
Like, when you're
Suki.
on the moon, every day is a full moon.
You don't see anything about Suki in that series either.
Which one's Suki?
The Kyoshi warrior that he wound up hooking up with after his girlfriend turned into the moon.
I don't know. They had a lot of different directions they were pulling Sokka.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of women in his life.
Yep. Sokka was, as he is aptly named, the backbender.
The backbender.
The backbender. Aang, the airbender. Katara,
The
waterbender.
Toph.
The earthbender. Zuko, the firebender. And then Sokka, the
The
backbender.
backbender.
Even Ty Lee tried to get with him.
Something like that.
Yeah, while they were fighting, she's like, "Isn't this cool? It's like we're dancing." Hey, cutie.
I think that's more like her personality.
She was trying to get with him. She kept calling him cute and everything. She wanted him.
Sure.
She even joined the Kyoshi Warriors at the end of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Something that she hated. Not the Kyoshi Warriors. She hated because she's like the middle child of 7 identical twins. She has 7 sisters that look exactly like her.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And she hated that. She wanted her individuality. That's why she ran away from home, joined the circus, so on and so forth. And then, at the end of the series, wound up joining the Kyoshi Warriors and wound up looking exactly like every other girl, who just happens to be the girl that Sokka got together with.
The backbender.
The backbender. I love the fact that Sokka almost got his team killed because he decided to flirt with a Fire Nation girl. Sokka is the Riz Bender. Yeah, the Riz Bender.
I can dig it. Can you dig it? Dig it, Sokka.
By the end of the series, Sokka was like, that character arc was almost as good as Zuko's, if not as good.
Yeah, I can appreciate it. Avatar was a great show. It really was. We got a lot out of that show.
I really hope that they come out with the movie.
The movie?
Yeah, that's supposed to be. So it's a movie. It's kind of like a sequel to the original series. They're adults. It's the adult team Avatar, and they're going on some sort of adventure. But instead of making a series, they just wanted one feature-length movie. Yeah, I
Are they
really
gonna
hope.
base it on one of the comics that
No,
follow?
no, because the comics are still them when they're young. The comics immediately follow the events of the first series.
It'd be nice to see Zuko meet his mom.
He did. She's not a good lady.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's a horrible mother.
I could have swore they painted her exactly opposite of what you're
No,
describing.
she straight up abandoned her child.
Wow. My understanding of her is totally diametric to that.
Yep. She wound up abandoning her child and getting remarried.
Why is that?
Why?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't happy in her old life to begin with.
The way I understood it, or at least I was told, is that she was told to go away by Ozai if he wanted the throne.
She made a deal with him. Ozai, so Azulon, the grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
ordered Ozai to kill Zuko. And he was going to. Ozai was straight up going to kill his son. Because he doesn't care. Then, what's her face? I forgot his mom's name. So, Mama Firebender. She struck a deal with Ozai. I will kill Azulon for you if you don't kill my son. And he's like, okay. And then she did. And then he's like, now you have to leave. because I have proof that you're a murderer.
Hmm.
And then banished her. So she bounced out. Now here's the part where all this sounds sympathetic. Okay, so she's being forced to leave. That's not abandoning her child, so on and so forth. Okay. She followed the events of his life, though. All that time that he was banished, she could have shown herself to him. She chose not to. After the events of the Sozin's Comet, some time had passed. She still chose not to seek him out. He had to track her down, and it turned out that she married some thespian, a theater dude, some thespian, an actor in this village, and that's where she chose to stay. She straight up abandoned her child. She's not a good mom. Zuko's got horrible parents.
I don't know. That sounds like your perception of it. I don't know if that's like objectively a terrible parent.
That is my perception of it. We'll go ahead and rest on that one. I'm not gonna argue that any parent who chooses not to go see their child at any chance that they have is definitely a good parent.
I don't know. I feel like maybe you're leaving out some details that I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's worth looking into.
Look it up. That's fine.
Have you read that final comic?
Comic Storian actually has it, and that's where I listen it to. Because you know me, I don't read well, so.
Why don't you read well, bro?
Well, because I got my GID. That's why.
I got my GID.
Yep.
I got GID.
I got GID.
I got GID. I was told to get GID, and I got GID.
I just remembered a confirmed kill in the show. Katara's mom. Yes, yep, Katara's mom was a confirmed kill. How could you forget that? Katara didn't forget it. She didn't forget to remind us of it every other flippin' episode, too. She didn't forget to turn every dramatic experience into, my mom died, too.
Your whole village got wiped out by the Fire Nation? My mom died. So that trumps you, Aang.
Yeah. Everything you've ever known and loved has been dead for over 100 years. You saw the mangled skeleton of your father figure.
You know no one here. We are all new to you. But my mom died, so...
You have an entire nation hunting you to kill you.
We went and found the other air nomads, and they're all wiped out too. So, don't know what to tell you, bud, but my sucks more than your suck.
Mm-hmm.
Katara. Wow.
Sokka, you don't know what it's like. Okay, my mom died. That's my mom too.
She's like simultaneously one of the most empathetic but least empathetic characters.
She is so frustrating as a character.
Because she's so caring about everyone, and then at the same time so dismissive of all their struggles. Because my mom died.
David, that's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
I like how in the catacombs, nearing the finale of the Ba Sing Se, the Book 2 Earth, in the catacombs, she pulled the Fire Nation killed my mom card, and Zuko turned around and was like, well, that's something we have in common. It's like, he pulled the my mom died card on her. He's like, reverse Uno.
Heh.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Zuko, what a great character. I still remember when I first saw him come to them and be like, hey, we should probably like team up or something.
Hi, Zuko here.
Burns Toph's feet, you know. Normal greetings.
Yeah.
Totally blinds that poor woman.
He didn't blind her.
Well, I mean, no, but like he blinds her seismic sense because she can't touch anything with her feet.
Flashbang.
I'm just gonna wait for that to heal a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, I just happen to need someone to teach me how to firebend at the same time. So like, it's great. You know, my mortal enemy for many a season."
The following episode immediately sucks at firebending.
He immediately sucks at firebending.
Yeah, on the next episode, he goes to teach Aang how to firebend, and it's like, pew.
Because he doesn't have the emotion.
Well, it's not any emotion. It's just like he was taught to drive the power from a source that he didn't have anymore because he didn't hate. He didn't have that anger. He was finally at peace. And so he's like, this is all I've ever known. This is what's been driving me. Well, crap. Now I got to figure out how to really do it. Iroh's been telling him what it was the whole time. From episode 1, he's been telling him true firebending comes from the breath, from the spirit, from peace. And it wasn't until the Sun Warriors episode that he like, oh, I got it. My uncle must have known this. He must have seen these guys. And he lied to the Fire Nation saying that he killed the last dragon. That's how he got the name Dragon of the West. And then he finally understood. And then he was like, wow, look at this.
Because that was a rite of passage for the Fire Nation benders, right?
What's to kill a dragon?
And that's why they're all like extinct, is because they kept hunting them.
It was so a theory is the reason why, because they started that after Sozin. The theory was because the dragons were spiritual creatures, much like the air bison and things like that.
And the moles.
And the moles, yeah, the badger moles.
And the moon.
Mm-hmm. So,
take that, water benders. You gotta kill the moon if you want to be an actual water bender.
So they turned away from the Fire Nation and started like rebelling. So the one right after Sozin commissioned for them to be extinct, and you would get a reward, essentially a bounty for it, your trophy status, things like that, if you defeated a dragon in combat. To know oneself, one must forget oneself and open yourself to be yourself, or something like that. Yes, that is a great quote. That was Zuko trying to imitate Iroh, which totally sounds like something Iroh would say. But at the same time, what? What are you talking about?
He always knew what to say at the right time. Just full of proverbs.
Full of proverbs.
The man was a walking proverb machine.
Mm.
I can dig it. Do you know why they call me the Dragon of the West?
Oh, Uncle.
Starts breathing fire.
Yeah, I love that. I ever tell you why they call me the Dragon of the West, Uncle? I don't have time for any of your anecdotes. It's more of a demonstration. Lights people up.
Literally spewing fire from his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've seen anyone else do that.
Zuko.
Straight from his mouth?
Zuko. The breath of fire technique. It's what he used so that way he didn't freeze to death in the North Pole. And when he was in the Sub-Zero prison.
He was actually breathing fire?
Yeah, he breathed fire into his chest. So that way he stayed warm. Which technique that he actually learned, this is a theory again, not confirmed. This is a technique that he learned from the Iroh, that Iroh learned from studying the airbenders, because airbenders can actually control the temperature of the air around them.
That's neat.
If you look at a lot of Iroh's fighting techniques throughout the entire series, you can see that he really did draw from all of the other nations and techniques.
Absolutely. 100%.
I loved it. I wonder if Iroh was that proverbial before his son died. Sad. Yep.
I have no idea.
Um,
He's probably a little bit more focused on his duties to the Fire Nation before his son died.
I think he was still that proverbial though, because he was doing all that world studying and things like that. He was studying from the other nations before his son died, while he was still a general. So
Definitely a learned man.
a lot of his success is attributed to the fact that he learned from the other nations and war crimes. Lots of war crimes.
I mean, he fought people.
Mm-hmm.
He was a monster on the battlefield.
I think he's the only one, besides the Avatar, that could actually take out Ozai.
You think so?
Yeah. The only thing, it is never confirmed, to the best of my knowledge, never confirmed that he can or cannot take out Ozai. The only thing that he says in the series is, I honestly don't think I can defeat him. And even if I could, what would it matter? It would just be one brother killing another for power. But the evidence that I have, or that I'm presenting, that Iroh can... Hold on, don't forget Iroh spout steam from his... Yeah, he can spout steam from his nostrils.
To superheat metal,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah.
He
to sneak it-
superheated metal red hot through air from his nostrils.
Yep.
That's insane. How fast that happened, too?
And the amount of control that he has, because he didn't burn himself. He took that.
That poor guy's hand. Ah! Oh, dude. Well, there goes his nerve endings.
Yeah.
He'll never feel anything in that hand again.
So, on the day of Black Sun, during the invasion, all firebenders, Ozai included, lost their ability to bend. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But Iroh still broke out of prison. And if you look, those bars were melted. There were singe marks. So that means that during the eclipse, when the entire nation of firebenders had no bending, that man still did.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Something like that.
He drove the fear in those people. That one guard that was bullying him the whole time, just like curled up in the fetal position. He was like a monster.
A one-man wrecking crew.
Yes. I gotta start doing some push-ups. I gotta look like Iroh.
You look like a deranged man eating a bunch of food. But then in reality, you're actually just jacked with pillows underneath your shirt, doing pull-ups with one arm. Order of the White Lotus is here. What a ball of guy.
Who is your favorite Avatar character?
My favorite Avatar character?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who is my favorite Avatar character? Never really thought about that. I suppose I really like Iroh. He's pretty cool. An episode with Iroh is never a miss.
He died during the making of that final season.
That voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
The one that came in after him did a really good job of sounding the same, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Really good job.
Yeah.
Shoot, I like a lot of characters in that show. There's a lot of straight bangers for characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All of them are pretty good. I had to think on it a little bit harder if I have an absolute favorite or not.
All right, pop quiz. Hold on. I still can't believe Zuko didn't kill his dad. He broke all the way to his chambers just to tell Ozai off and then leave.
Just to tell him he wasn't worth it. He went through all that effort just to say nah.
It wasn't for him to do, though.
I know, but it's still something like you went all that way. You went through all that strife just to be like, nah.
He needed closure. I get it. I get it, and I think it is consistent with his character.
He could have killed his dad. There was a moment where he could have.
Yeah,
when he was directing that lightning bolt, he
yeah.
was, and his dad was like, "Oh no!" We're like, maybe Iroh could have killed him. Zuko definitely could have killed him. I mean, I don't know. You have to really play some shenanigans as to what you thought was going on in that moment. Was Ozai trying to play Zuko, or was he genuinely fearing for his life in that moment?
I don't think Ozai was playing Zuko. I think Ozai was actually helpless at that moment. And then the eclipse hit, and all of a sudden he got his bending back, and so he shot that lightning. I think he was going to kill his son. It's not outside of Ozai's character to want Zuko dead. He's already tried. He was already willing to do it twice. Why do you think Azula got dispatched to get him in the first place? It wasn't to bring him back for tea and crumpets. He was going to execute Ozai and Iroh. Or not Ozai, Zuko and Iroh.
Zuko and Iroh.
Yeah. They were deemed traitors. He was going to kill them then. So, he was outright going to kill them. And what shocked him was the fact that he knew that technique to redirect the lightning.
Because who else could have taught him?
Well, and here's the thing. When Iroh was teaching it to Zuko, he mentioned that not even Azula and I think Ozai knew about that technique because Iroh's the one who invented it by studying the waterbenders. No one else knew that technique besides Iroh, and then taught it to Zuko. And that's why it shocked Ozai, because he's like, what? Hold up. And then out of sheer mercy, he decided to just
shoot the roof.
Yeah.
Bang! What?
And
how
then,
does it feel to not only be forgiven but saved?
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Yes, I like it. I like what you said there. I do. And then to see, so the only time he's ever seen that technique was from Zuko, right? We'll go fast forward to the final episode, and he shoots lightning at Aang.
After chasing him with it.
Yeah.
Because Aang didn't want to do it. Aang's not too practiced with it. It's like, how does it feel to like do it for the first time against an opponent, and it's Ozai?
A supercharged opponent. Because that's during the comet.
They're like, alright, only when my back is cornered, I have no other choice but to rely on the technique. Shoo! Bang!
The look on Ozai's face, like...
You gotta be kidding me. How many people know this?
Which is not a lot, but it's weird.
This is my super technique, and everyone can counter it.
Cute Doofenshmirtz meme. It's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Who knows how to do this? Is it reasonable that Ozai would know that Iroh knows how to do that? Like, Iroh knows how to do that. Now my kid knows how to do that. The freaking Avatar knows how to do that.
Does everyone know this but me?
What? I need to change my super weapon. Everyone knows how to counter my super weapon and shoot me with it. It's not much of a super weapon anymore. What a helpless feeling that must be. It's like knowing that your enemy knows how to detonate your own nukes in your own bunkers. This freaking sucks. My own homeland can be detonated at a moment's notice. Is he saying something comical?
So Zuko or Iroh. Zuko for the journey and Iroh for the character. Yeah, those are his favorite characters, Zuko or Iroh. And then he says, that reminds me of a quote from Has Been Hotel. How's mercy taste, B-word?
How's mercy taste?
Has Been Hotel was was an interesting show. Interesting. Music in it, music was just banging. It was awesome. It had some good, not family friendly.
Not family.
Yeah. All right. Weird side note. Weird side tangent. So one of my kids is Vietnamese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this one time, I was taking her to her mom's house, and sometimes her mom and I visit for a little while. So we're sitting there, we're talking, and I was telling her that I'd planned on taking my wife out to sushi. I said maybe I'll bring some sushi back for the kids, and my daughter was like, sushi? I was like, yeah. She says, we have to get sushi. I was like, yeah, okay, well, I'll bring back some sushi. She goes, okay, but it needs to be sushi for the whole family.
Your daughter said that?
My daughter did.
It had to be sushi for the whole family.
Family is what she
Family.
said. It was an accident. She didn't mean to say it like that, but it was hilarious considering that she's the Asian.
Ha! We
The
got
whole
to get
family?
all the sushi for the whole family.
For the whole family. Don't forget the egg rolls.
We gotta get the egg rolls. Don't forget the egg rolls. Lest you bring dishonor to your family.
It was a Roni.
I don't know what it is, but like when I hear conversation and whatnot, I'm a very gregarious guy, so I always get, whether I intend to or not, involved in what's happening. Like when we were playing D&D the other night, and I started using an Irish accent, even though my character had no business doing it, just because you guys were doing it. So I was at Jade Garden with my friends, and the waiter comes by, and she gives us our drinks, and I was like, oh, thank you. I am so sorry. Oh, thank you. I looked that woman dead in her eye and did that. And I was like, oh, no. I'm sorry. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
I do emulate a lot of my environment.
David says, you're a loser, baby. Cheered me up so much when I first heard it. Yeah. Yeah, that's one with Keith Overman.
Who?
Keith Overman.
Who's that?
He's one of the voice actors in Hazbin Hotel.
Oh.
He voices Arbiter.
Oh.
Yeah. He sings a song called "You're a Loser, Baby,"
Oh.
and it is good. Like, it's got a good beat to it, and it's funny. And it's immediately followed. So, it's a follow-up song. The song before that is so it's so hard. Like, the beat catches you, but the message behind it, it's dark. Yes. They say things. They say like, okay, if you're gonna watch Hazbin Hotel, understand that it does not hold any, like, especially at the face value, does not hold any theological value whatsoever. Okay, it doesn't. But you can glean from it. You can interpret it as in a morally positive light into there. The premise is that the daughter of Satan wants to basically open a rehab center in hell so people can find redemption and go to heaven, because the people in hell are constantly being slaughtered and annihilated by archangels from heaven. They're just coming down, just wiping people out because hell's getting overpopulated. So that's her endeavor, is to do that. And it, from the gist of it, you go around and you can kind of, like, at face value, you're going to look at it as like, oh, well, people love being in hell down here. I mean, they're clearly down there for a reason, and they're enjoying continuing all their shenanigans, so on and so forth. But if you look deeper into it, it's like, well, quite literally, the majority of all these people are acting like they're enjoying this, but they're all really miserable. Like some of them genuinely enjoy being in hell and enjoy the perks, if you will, that comes with being there. But the main characters that it follows, each of them, their enjoyment there is all a front. They're miserable. They hate it there. They hate their addictions that bind them there into hell. And a lot of the reason that's why they are at the Has-Been Hotel, the rehab center. So, and even like who's supposed to be the OP character, Alistar, who's the radio voice demon, which really cool character. Even he, you find out later on, even he wants to find a way out of his thing. It is amazing. It really is when you look at it. My son comes up to me, my oldest boy, he's 15, and he asks me, "So, Dad, when do you think I'm gonna be old enough to see Has-Been Hotel?" And I was like, "When you're an adult."
You're an adult.
When you're no longer a child, because
Wow,
that is.
I think my roommate watched that show.
It is a rough show to watch.
I think both my roommates back when I had two. I think both of them watched that show together. I never really sat down and watched it with them, but I think they watched it together.
Has-Been Hotel has a much better character experiment behind it than Hell of a Boss, created by the same person.
I think they watched that too.
Yeah.
They like to sit down and watch that show
Yeah.
too.
I've watched Hell of a Boss.
Isn't that one still going?
Yes. On
Okay.
that one, and that one's still on YouTube. Has-Been Hotel got picked up by Prime. So it's Amazon Prime now. The pilot of Has-Been Hotel is still on YouTube. And the series on Amazon Prime, on Prime Video, actually picks up in what would be considered episode 2. So episode 1 is a follow-up to the pilot episode, which you can only watch on YouTube.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah. They did change a few of the voice actors from the YouTube version to the Prime version, but it doesn't really detract.
Okay.
Like, honestly, unless you're paying close attention, you might not even notice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
All right, let me catch up on some of these comments really quick. We are 1 hour and 42 minutes in, so you already read that one. I think the pronunciation spelling can be genetic. I occasionally say router, or say router as in router, like a Canadian. Yeah, I think you're correct, because sometimes my inflections change between Southern and then British at times, because, well, my biological father was from England.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, sometimes it fluctuates like that. Actually, when I was working as a fuel service attendant, someone asked me where I was from, and I was like, I'm from Pendleton, primarily. I was born in Hermiston, but pretty much
Nerd.
Oregon all the time.
So you're a sleeper agent.
And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah. Why? And they're like, well, because honestly, you sound Canadian. And I was like, that's new. I haven't heard that one before.
That's new.
Texas, Arkansas, things like that. Never Canadian. Alistair loves just having fun in hell. Well, until he meets Adam. Yeah, Alistair gets rocked. And there's a pun intended in that one, but Alistair gets rocked by Adam. Adam is the first man, right?
Mm-hmm.
As based in theology, but is also an angel, and he is the head of the archangels that go to hell to exterminate. Once it's like once every couple of years, but then they move it up to like once every 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The only thing I know about the show is a couple of like passing comments that my friends say to each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the show, but I can imagine it in my mind.
Yeah.
Some pretty dark episodes out of those things.
Yes. Even in Hell of a Boss, there was Hell of a Boss is supposed to be like somewhat of like Invader Zim style.
Yeah, I get that, especially from the animation.
Yeah. But there's a couple of episodes on there that's like, oh, that's deep. That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
So,
That's a straight meme for
yes.
today's episode.
Yeah. It's yeah. I'm watching a lot of good shows lately, I guess.
I don't even know what the last show. I've been really digging the Corridor Crew on YouTube. Those guys are really good. They watch and review and then discuss special effects that they see in different videos and whatnot. And sometimes they have competitions amongst themselves to see who can do what better.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to watch. What really got me hooked on them is because me and my roommate, we like certain horror things. Like we were really enamored by SCP, and we watched a lot of SCP videos together. Back at Midco, a lot of my middays, I would just go back home, and my roommate would be sitting there, and he'd pull up a playlist on YouTube of SCP videos, and then I would pass out on the couch. And he'd be playing whatever game he was playing. And then when it was time to wake up, I'd go back to work. So there's a lot of things that we shared together. And then I came in one day and he was like, dude, check this out. They're called Corridor Crew. And he pulled up a playlist of them debunking paranormal videos. It was a bunch of special effects artists debunking paranormal videos, or seeing if they could debunk them. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So I fall asleep watching them. And so that's actually what I do in my room at nights here. Is I'll pull up Corridor Crew and fall asleep to them reviewing special effects and whatnot. I prefer their paranormal videos, but I've watched all of them, so there's nothing left for me to watch on paranormal.
Corridor Crew is good. Corridor Digital is good. David, who is Zestial? Which one is Zestial again? David put out a who would win, Zestial or Alistar?
I have no idea who Zestial is.
I can't remember. I
barely know who Alistar is.
I think Alistar's the radio voice demon. I think Zestial was the right hand of Adam, if that is correct.
I have no idea.
In which case, I actually... If Zestial is the right hand of Adam against Alistar, I think Alistar would win against Zestial, because Zestial wasn't as powerful as Adam was, and it took that major whammy from Adam to even incapacitate Alistar. No, Zestial is the first overlord we meet. Green Eyes speaks. Oh, that guy.
Still have no idea.
So we don't know much about Zestial. All we know about Zestial is that he's a much older overlord, and he's not a Hellborn. He was a human that was sent to Hell. Overlords are devils that have contracts. They own souls. Okay? When you die, in that universe, when you die, you get sent down and you are reincarnated in hell in a similar fashion as to how you died. This is Alistar was a serial killer who got shot. He was a serial killer. He was burying a body and he got shot because he was mistaken for a deer. So he has antlers and hooves at the bottom of his shoes resembling a deer as a point of humiliation for how he died. And he owns souls. He's also an overlord, but Alistair is also owned by somebody. He too is on a leash, which we don't know who that is yet. It's not Lucifer. Surprisingly, to the best of my knowledge, Lucifer doesn't own any souls in hell. So this guy, that he speaks in a old Shakespearean style when he talks, a little bit more modern than that.
Okay.
So he is centuries older. The radio voice demon, Alistar, he was obviously from like the 1920s and whatnot, when that old style radio was. That's how he talks. And so I think Zestial actually might be stronger than Alistar, because he speaks to him out of a point of respect. And Alistar speaks to Zestial in the same fashion. You don't really see that from Alistar in any other way. Not even to Carmilla, and she's pretty powerful. But Zestial did somewhat state that he was at very least on par with the way that he spoke, the way that they spoke about each other, that they were at least on par with each other. But I think Zestial would take Alistar, to be honest with you.
Well, it sounds like it's unknown.
It is. We don't know enough about Zestial. I don't know how he died. I don't know how many souls he owns. We don't get to see him
do anything.
Yeah, but I mean, and we do with Alistar. There was a point in the cartoon when he just like digivolves essentially, and turns into this monster thing to go prove a point and remind everyone who he is, because people are started walking on him. And the only person who didn't react to in the episode at that vicinity, the only person who didn't react to Alistair's monstrosity and like the sheer carnage that he was doing was Lucifer himself. And that's just because Lucifer is he is easily more powerful than Alistar, and he's not afraid of anyone down there. As he would say in the final episode, "You're in my house now."
Dang.
Yeah. Let's see. Alistar doesn't really react to Zestial sneaking up on him, but the way that Zestial just happened to appear by Alistar with no hesitation or fear makes me think that Zestial could beat him. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. I think Zestial can, but it wouldn't be an easy fight between the two. And just because Alistar didn't react when Zestial like appeared next to him doesn't mean a whole lot, because Alistar is an actor. He holds his composure during a lot of things. We only see him break one other time. Twice. We only see him break twice. Once when Husk calls him out for being on a leash, and then in the final episode, when he fights Adam and then gets his mic broken. His mic is his conduit for his power. But yeah, I mean, Alistair talks down to literally everyone else except for Zestial.
What is Zestial's conduit?
Don't know. He's a shade essentially.
Well, that sounds like one great big unknown then.
Yeah. So, it's
And you said Alistair fought Adam?
yes.
And what was that like?
At first, it seemed kind of one-sided in Alistair's favor because Adam's brash, he's impulsive, he's arrogant. He is this show's douchebag, is what he is.
Oh, that
Yes.
sucks.
So, so he's down there and he's fighting, and Alistair's giving him the what for. It's quite literally said exactly what it said. Brash, arrogant, and just downright sloppy. And he's just like, he's beating him. He's toying with him, showing him the business. He could have had him, but Alistair himself is arrogant and waited, and then Adam hit him with a whammy and then crippled his power, and he's like, hold up a sec. And then he had to bounce out. He had to flee.
Alistair had to flee.
Yeah, is the only time that Alistair had faced off with an opponent that was actually stronger than him, to the best of our knowledge. Alistair broke a bit in the pilot because of the comment that Angel Dust made. I don't remember what you're talking about. Which comment was that? What's his actual title?
Angel Dust?
No. So Angel Dust is a demon's name. He's one of the characters that you follow that we're hoping anyways will reach redemption. He sold half of his soul. I guess I'll have to rewatch the pilot to understand that. Waiting for what Adam's actual title is. The First Man. I mean, that's what his title is in the show.
The First Man.
Yeah.
You ever seen it was like Ragnarok, the anime where it's gods versus mankind?
Adam's name in the credits.
He gave you another comment. Downey.
Brightman. D-Master. Okay. Yep, no, I did not notice that. But yeah, no. In that show, he's not a good guy.
What a weird fight Adam had in Ragnarok. Who was he fighting? Was he fighting Odin or was it Zeus? Straight whooped that guy too. He lost, but he whooped that god.
What is this?
This is an anime called Ragnarok where it's mankind versus the gods.
Hmm.
So they're like, we're tired of all your nonsense, gods. We challenge you. And the gods are like, okay. And they build this whole tournament. And one of them is, it's either Zeus or Odin, probably Zeus, versus Adam, the first human. And he beats that guy. Just straight wallops him. But I don't remember exactly what the excuse was, but like Adam's time runs out and he disintegrates. And so even though he beat up Zeus, Zeus was able to outlast him. And so Zeus won. But Adam beat him up. You get to choose weapons at the beginning of it. And I was like, I don't really need anything. They're like, well, you gotta choose a weapon. He's like, all right, Brass Knucks. And he street hammers Zeus. It's insane. Yeah, he fought Zeus. Well, thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Off the Rails Podcast. I've been your host, Kenny, and I'm joined by my good friend,
Tony, the guy who pushes all the buttons.
Hit him with the facts.
Always remember to like, share, subscribe, comment down below on our shows. You can find us on all the social medias, the TikToks, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, so on and so forth, the internet things.